Now what we are going to do is look at these numbers and learn them better using conditional formatting. What is conditional formatting? Depending on some condition, we apply formatting. Generally it is used saying more than 50, make it red, that kind of thing. But icon sets give you a way of classifying those numbers into multiple categories. So let's start with the simplest one. I just chose that 3 arrows option. Excel did not ask me how this is done. It just decided which ones are green, which ones are red, which ones are yellow. And why is that and how did that work? That's the first question to understand. Because I did not say above this is green and below this is red. So how do you figure it out? Go to conditional formatting, manage rules. You'll see one or more rules. Right now only one. So click on it or edit or just double click. Now let's understand what Excel is trying to do here. It found the lowest number in our data and the highest number. That's easy, min max. And now what is it saying? Between that range, things which are below 33% are red, 33 to 67 are yellow, and above 67 are green. Now that's how it does it by default, which is good, but I may want to change it. Why? Because I don't want it based on this setting. Maybe I want anything above 80% of. No problem. This is a value. This is Excel. So you can say anything which is above 80% becomes green and anything which is below 10% becomes red. And that's absolutely fine. And it will change accordingly. Now the important thing to understand here is it depends on the range. So if I change a number and reduce the range, right now I'm making it 1, notice all the arrows changed. And now I put something which is larger than all these numbers. So I'll put 300. Notice again everything changed. Right now I changed only one number, but the interpretation of everything changed because we are talking about the range and percentage within the range. So that is how conditional formatting with 3 arrows works. And just to complete the topic, let's see the other options available there. Manage rules allows you to customize how these icons are being applied. So various things you can do here. For example, let's keep it as 67 and 33. What I want is the ones which are below 33 should be green and above 67 should be red. Now why would I do that? Because what does that number represent? The entire thing works on that purpose. For example, suppose this was number of defects in a manufacturing line, lesser is better. So depending on the context, you decide who is green, who is red. So how do you do that? You just say reverse icon order. And then when you click OK, it's done. Suppose we want to show this in PowerPoint. We don't want the audience to get confused with looking at so many numbers. They just want to see the overall pattern in which month, which department did what. So I want the arrows, but I don't want the numbers. I can't delete the numbers because the arrows are dependent on the numbers. I just don't want to show the numbers. So don't go and change the font color to white. That's the worst way of doing it. That's why there is an option. Show icon only means hide the numbers. So if I do this, beautiful. Now you can copy paste this to PowerPoint and convey the same meaning in a much more impactful manner. The next thing you need to know is maybe sometimes this is high. This I don't want to show at all. And here I want to show some completely different icon. So all of that is possible because there is a drop down. If I don't want to show an icon in a given condition, I just say I don't want the icon. And if I want to change the icon, the same thing, open this, and maybe below 10 or below 33 is really bad. I want to show it in a much more emphatic manner. So I say this is bad. Okay. And now what happens? Yellow part will not be shown and those which are red will be shown with a cross. Basically what is happening here is currently we are looking at one set of icons. What were the set of icons we chose? The first one, 3 color scale. But if you really look at this drop down, you see there are categories of icons. Arrow category, shapes category and so on. Now within each category, how many different types we have? Right now we chose 3. Visually you can have 3 categories, 4 categories or 5 categories. And the icons themselves have different types. This type of icons are used when you want to show relative position. This is above target, below target. These are just visual icons. There is no directionality unless you use this. That's why these are called directional icons. These are indicators. Means suppose this was pass, fail, and somewhere in between. This one is yes, no, maybe. These are flags, very commonly used in project management. How is the project going? This is a rating. Again, technically speaking, this one and this one and this one and this one, all of them are same, 33, 67, 100. But visually, they make a difference because the context or the scenario is different. Now, which one to use when is entirely up to you. But if you want to say there are 5 steps to be covered or 20 steps to be covered and some has finished 4, some has finished 7, you can choose the matrix because it shows matrix of completion. If it is a project and you are trying to show project progress from 0 to 100, this is better. People understand completion like this as a pie chart. And if you are just showing some other things, then we have various options. So that is how you use icon sets in conditional formatting to interpret data better, understand the patterns better, and convey your findings to other people in the audience or as a part of a report. So that's it for now. Thank you.